Hello, my name is Ariana Valdivinos, and this is my educational leader interview. My interviewee is Veronica. She is a leader at Clovis Community Medical Hospital and is a registered nurse supervisor. The interview took place today, actually, at 9 a.m. Veronica runs the floors, creates schedules for nurses in the labor and delivery unit. Roles and responsibilities. What are your responsibilities that can make your position different from other nurses? Well, as an RN supervisor, you learn how to schedule people, how to train, are a part of the onboarding process, and essentially, you learn to mentor and give feedback to your peers. You essentially do this by and teach by directing your team to what is standard and implement those things with constructive feedback. Leadership style. The first thing I want to talk about is consistency. There needs to be a constant exchange between leader and follower. In Veronica's work setting, there has to be a constant flow of updates on the patients and making sure that everyone is on the same page. Number 2, communication. Communication can be both verbal and nonverbal, and in order for communication to occur effectively, in my interviewee's case, there would need to be accurate logs and procedures done in order to ensure that the patient is in good care. Support. The strength of the relationship depends on each party's capacity to support one another. Veronica's approach is effective in this capacity because she explains that her peers' feedback on what they can build on with her relationship with them is something important to have in the work setting because it's like a cycle. Not only does she give feedback and support, but she gets it as well from her own peers. Number 4, authentically listening. Good leaders are also good listeners. They essentially recognize things that others cannot. In response to this strategy, Veronica recognized the importance of seeing and hearing out her mentees as well as the patients, obviously. Data-driven decision-making. What's in your toolbox? In the path of nursing school really teaches you standard concepts as to how to respond to stressful circumstances. You essentially learn the most from the hands-on experience, and you use that data you collect over time to make better, more effective routines for yourself and the patients you encounter. In what ways have you brought your experiences to your peers in an effective manner? Veronica responded with, at the hospital, we can have a lot of staff, and when that's the case, it seems as though no one is listening to those needs and concerns. This is true, especially when it comes to training a new staff member. So as a team, they need to communicate on what ways they can effectively train a new hiree. And we came up with creating some sort of cheat sheet template as to what points and approaches there must be to effectively train the new staff. Assessment and evaluation of learners. Describe how the educational leader evaluates their learners to determine mastery level. What assessments are given and how often? Veronica responded with, I do daily assessments at the end of the shifts. We connect on what we've experienced today and answer any questions. Then as we communicate further, I evaluate how they are critically thinking, what they are starting to master, and what they need to improve on. Leaders' use of optimism and positive thinking. What's the biggest thing that you use to keep your team motivated? The biggest thing for our team is having a shared goal. It's wanting to create a successful flow that works best for everyone when you try to implement that. And we try to implement that into our staff meetings. And I put a quote from our textbook. It says, leaders say leadership involves giving directions, aiming for success, and developing and motivating a team. In conclusion, I think the biggest takeaway I received from this interview is that the most effective leader listens to their team by being observant, patient, and willing to put their heart into what they do. An entire work dynamic can be affected by the poor leadership or change the way a team operates.